let's talk about Shinkenger. Because I have actually watched it. I enjoyed it. It has its goods and things. Not quite bad, but things. Because samurai culture is cool, right? It's just objectively cool. Like one of the coolest cultures you can think of that you want to look back on and learn from. And so, Shinkenger. Plop. Anyway. I bought the memorial version of the Shodo phone. Because Shinkenger is cool. And this box is cool. Or it was, if UPS didn't get their grubby little hands all over it. But there's the Shinkenger logo, Shinken Red, Shiba, Takeru. And I refuse to acknowledge Power Ranger Samurai. Except now I've acknowledged Power Ranger Samurai. I refuse to watch Power Ranger Samurai because it's literally Shinkenger, but with... It's just... I don't consider myself a purist at all. I loved Power Rangers a long time before I started watching Sentai. But I've watched Shinkenger. Samurai is the same thing. You literally took the names. You took the Shiba clan and just named him Jaden and said, okay, he's Japanese now. While trying to hide his accent. New Zealand. Yeah, I think his just his accent. Yeah. So, it says Memorial Edition. Memorial Edition. There's no sad Pac-Man. Look at that. If you open it... Like, I've been collecting quite a few Memorial Editions recently. I'm sure you've seen. And I'm really interested in the Magiphone. Inside, there's this and this, but no instructions. And that's because there are the instructions and a QR code. I mean, okay, I guess whatever floats your boat down the Sendai River. Let's just focus on the toy. Focus on the toy. This is the Shodo phone. So, I find it very funny in Shinkenger that they're like, oh, we're going all the way back to Samurai, but like with modern technology, but old school mentality. Like I'm not 100% on my samurai culture, but like I don't think the Lord, like the people who were the upper class that hired the samurai actually fought, because they'd be busy, like, you know, having wars fought for them, right? Something like that. Like the head of the clan wouldn't really be fighting that much. They'd be like more politicking around. I could be 100% wrong on that. So it's just like, why is the head of the Shiba clan fighting with his retainers? And that's a thing that's bugged me about Shinkenger, is like, they're a team, but it doesn't 100% feel like it because it's in their announcement. Shiba, like Red Ranger. How do I explain? Whoever starts the roll call says Shinken, their color, and then their full name. Everyone else in the roll call has to say the same, then their color, and then their full name. And it's like, it feels like you're separating the leader from the rest of the team. Like it's Shinken Red and his retainers. Like, I thought like team was kind of one of the overarching ideals of Sentai. It does lead to, however, one of my favorite things in Sentai is when a overweight, middle-aged white man shows up. Because, of course, he's American, so of course he has to be middle-aged and overweight. But, like, he names himself Shinken Brown. Because his name is Richard Brown. And it's like, that's not how that works. The other Rangers aren't red or blue because that's in their name. He's not... He's Takeru Shiba, not Takeru Red. Just, and he shows up in like a traditional kimono and like brown training armor with a kendo stick and tries to refer to himself as a Shinkenger. A kendo stick perhaps similar to this one. It's like, oh, I so wish that got adapted into Power Rangers. That would be hilarious. Like, reverse. Like, the team is diverse because you have people of diverse backgrounds. And then just one Japanese dude shows up as, like, the Brown Ranger for some reason. Yeah. That probably wouldn't be funny because Power Rangers would find a way to make it not funny. Anyway, this is the Shodo phone. And in 2009, flip phones were all the rage. Oh, yeah, I was in high school in 2009, so I definitely had a flip phone. But, like, I had nobody to call or anything. It's just a very basic flip phone. And this I like playing with this phone. I like flipping it around. It's a very nostalgic feeling, which is a good and bad thing. So, just give you once around. You got Shodo phone, ST33 digital changer. The time is 8:09 because you get 2009. Ha ha ha. I like jokes like that. It's sure it's not 8008 5. And you have a speaker back here. This compartment right here, which if you remove it, it's covering the battery pack, but there's no battery. It's USB-C chargeable. So that's a cool step forward in the morphers, I think, because, yeah, cell phones were, at that point, probably micro USB. They hadn't gotten to USB-C yet. They were probably micro USB or something similar. But that's cool. You never have to buy batteries for this thing. You just plug it into the charging cord it came with that I don't know where it is off the top of my head. It's somewhere in this room. But it doesn't matter what cord you use. Any USB-C cord should work. And there's a button right here. We'll talk about it in a second. And there's this little thing and this button here, which we'll also get into. So, yep, you flip it open because it's a flip phone. with a satisfying lock here and lock here. And so here is the look of the phone. Open. So you got the number pad, this LED light, the phone screen, which I absolutely love this. It says henshin.jpg. I love that. That is the laziest and yet best thing I've ever seen. Just henshin.jpg. And you have like the sort of standard things. Camera, settings, mail, phone, lion, and a paintbrush. That paintbrush is important. So to turn it on, you actually have to press and hold the power button as if you were turning on an actual phone. And don't look here unless you want to be temporarily blinded. Now you ding. That is the sound of like a wooden thing, like traditional like things being hit on the ground. And so you only have about 10 buttons that are actually usable, because this entire side is nothing. So if you press the white buttons, you get 3 sounds, which cool sound, but like, and then if you press the green button, somebody's calling me. But also, when you close it and open it with it turned on, you get a click sound. And if you press the red buttons, it summons each of their origami Zords. So going down the list is like a lion, dragon, bear, monkey, turtle. If I'm so. Again, don't look in the red light unless you want to be neuralized. They won't let you remember. Sorry. That's a dragon, apparently. As if we know what a dragon actually sounds like. Also, I'm going to show you how it looks fully extended from the back. Long streak of red looks cool. And so those are all the sounds you get in the basic cell phone mode. You can press this button on the back and you get 3 of the Shinkenger songs. You get the theme song. I listen to this song a lot. Cell phone. Topical. My favorite part of that song is the intro. It's the onomatopoeia for swords clashing. So it goes sword, sword clash, clash. Sword clash, clash, sword clash. Like, it literally goes like that. Chan chan bada chan bada. It's like sword clash, clash. It actually does sound like the onomatopoeia sounds like a sword clashing. Chan bada. Giri giri chan bada. Suddenly, Kamen Rider Laser appears. You can interrupt the song if you want by pressing the button again. But I just figured I'd let it play. I also want to show off, I've had this long enough. There are two little squares right there that have worn off a tiny bit of paint in that one section and started to on the other side, but I don't mind. It's just, it means it's been well played with. I've enjoyed playing with it. You can do 2 more songs. I wish they had one of the other Shinkenger songs that I actually listened to, but because I know they're from the show, I just don't remember which songs. Because there are no lyrics. So yeah, and third and final. But if you also press it and hold it down, you get was basically whenever the Shinkengers would appear, they would have servants that are like hit things on the ground and also put banners in front of them for when they appear to the Gedoshu, the enemies. I think there were Moogers or something like that in Samurai, but if you press and hold, it's like introducing them, like before they introduce themselves. Because that is fairly accurate, like in Sentai when teams introduce themselves, because it was based off samurai culture. When 2 samurai would like inevitably get into battle, they would introduce themselves, and it was the other person was too polite to stop them, so they just kept letting them say everything they wanted to say as their introduction. That's kind of where it comes from in Sentai and Rider in general, and introducing yourself, and the enemy just waits because they're too polite to cut you off. They'd never make it in New York. So we do have a bit of transformation. You can kind of see where it does it, but like there's a split sort of like right down here, but that brush is important because your cell phone turns into a brush. I like this feature. It's fun. Just opening it, folding it. This feature is fun. We do have this similar technology in smartphones now, with the ones where you like fold it in half, which I saw one recently when a coworkers had one. I'm like, it looks like you have 2 different phones, and it's just, I don't like the idea of folding the screen. You know what I mean? Like folding the body of it, sure, because it's hard plastic, but like folding the screen itself, like this display, like it doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't feel right. It feels like you're gonna break it. But now, if words could kill, these ones actually can. You know those magic knives where like they stab into the cat and the cat goes as if it's actually being stabbed? That's what this reminds me of. And also, I have to mention the brush tip. You can kind of actually see like they tried to texture it Because as the original had a very plastic look to it, like the paintbrush and pieces. Like here, it feels like they tried to give it not exactly wood grain, but kind of that idea, like just some texture to make it like feel more authentic to what it wants to be. And so there's this button right here that you press to write kanji in the air, to do things like transform or summon a horse. So you can have a race against a car. Or no, it was a motorcycle. And yeah, now you have revealed the 5 colors of the 5 Shinkengers. Obviously red, blue, green, yellow, pink. There's not one for Kaoru, because Kaoru took over for Takeru at one point. If you prefer Lauren, Shiba took over for Jaden. But now you can actually, like, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think it actually, for the transformation, when you press the green button, I don't think it cares what you do in the air, because I cannot figure out if there are differences between each of the Shinkenger's like transformations. Somebody, like one reviewer I watched, put out a video just showing the doing that, and like for each of the 5 if you need to practice. But yeah, that's the sound of the brush strokes. And the because what they would do is they would route their symbol for, say, fire, water, earth. I think pink was wind. No, well, red is fire, blue is water, green is earth. One of them is light, one of them is air. Can't remember off the top of my head. Dang it! But, and then they would flip it, because they would write it backwards and then flip it, and that would transform them. I guess we can try and do something similar. So I think the proper would be like Shodo phone, Epeat Sojo. And then press the button and hold. Or I didn't. If you just press it once, you get a short transformation. But if you press and hold, you get a full. Shinken Reddo, Shiba, Takeru. Tenka Gomen no Samurai Sentai. Shinkenger. Mayu. Which is like the Samurai Sentai authorized by Providence. And then Mayu is like going forth into battle kind of thing. And you can still press the buttons, but it won't change anything. And so the red buttons each have their own feature. So the first one summons all of the Zords, or the origami. The second one, number 2, will combine them into Shinkeno. The third one, or number 5, there's, which one is it? There's one that lets you just free write to do whatever you want. There's one that does the destruction spell, like, because at the end of the show they had to seal the main boss away, and that they had to use that spell. And there's one that does one other thing, and where was that? I'm going to actually look at the instructions. Because even though the instructions are also right there, let me see if I can... Yeah. The instructions aren't going to be in English, but will it translate? English. And you get a link to a PDF to open. Yeah, none of it is in a... I could read it, or at least try to read it, but... Power. But let's go through the 5 modes. And the way you know which mode you're in is it'll vibrate once, twice, thrice, 4 times, or 5 times. So you get 1 vibration. And that's the only sound you get, right? Oh, to reset? I think it might have reset. So press it. 2 vibrations, so let's go. Samurai Gatai. Wait, did I press the right one? Yes. Shinkeno Tenkatoits, which is like united under Providence. And then I think that's just freehand. You can let's see if I can practice writing with my right hand. So yep, that's, I'm not sure, but the last one is the destruction, or the sealing spell. Honestly, it's been a hot minute since I watched Shinkenger, so I don't remember what exactly the specifics to get right then. But that is everything with the Shodo phone. Also, if you want to turn it off, you press and hold the power button again past the point of sound effects and it will turn off. it'll vibrate twice, but we want it on, so let's turn it back on. Now that brings me to my one drawback from this. No sounds from the characters. No character mode. Like, you have room for it. Like, use these buttons, or have a button to press so when you transform, it actually does the roll call. Like, it feels like there was room for a character mode that just isn't here. And I really wish it was, because, like, there are some cool things that this does. But, like, I feel like you could have done more. And just, I don't know why. Did budget? I don't know. I hope it wasn't budget, because it's not super expensive, but like, there's room. So I feel like they took some nice steps forward, but then like maybe 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing. Like, the USB-C is really cool because you don't have to buy batteries, and like the modes are fun to play with, but then you took away one of the core features of the Memorial. Is like lines directly from the show. Like, each of the buttons could have acted. Each of the buttons could have activated the character's sounds, like, in either mode. Like, please, why did you not? I don't know. Yeah. If you like Shinkenger, and you're a sucker for flip phones that also turn into pens, that is a very niche subject to enjoy, but you do you. This might be up your alley. So, it's got a hook, sort of. It's got that. Who was, in 2009, gonna wear this like around their waist or on their backpack? I feel like that's a good way for it to get stolen. If you're wearing like this is bulkier than an old school flip phone, because like when cell phones started, I think the whole design philosophy was thinner. Make something that's not as bulky as the landlines we had previously. Like, think about it. We jumped from a phone being predominantly in the home, meaning you had to, it was on the wall, you couldn't take it with you, to one that you could take around with you but had a very limited battery, so you had to like leave it in the house, plug it in when you're not using it, to suddenly having a phone in your pocket, taking it wherever you go. Like, so the idea was to be very thin. To a certain extent, I think the idea is still to be very thin, but like, instead of being thick this way, it's, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't a standard flip phone. It's too thick. It still fits in your pocket. It's just, I don't know. But you can activate the brush whenever you want by pressing in that button there, because this little peg just hits that button. But when it's locked in, you can't close it because there's springs keeping it up. It's still a fun toy. Still enjoy playing with it. So, thank you for watching. Sorry, I gotta take this call. Hello. Hey, Zordon. Thanks for calling me back. I was calling about your Dragonzord's extended warranty. You know, the Dragonzord that's been in the harbor for like the last 30 years or so. Did you have insurance on it? How did I get this number? Let's just say the morphing grid works in mysterious ways.